Hey, hello and welcome. This is a 90-minute yoga sculpt class, and we're going to start with foam rolling and with tune-up balls. So the first part of the class will be your foam roller and tune-up balls if you have them, or you could use tennis balls or anything that's, like nice little sturdy balls here. And then for the yoga sculpt class, we'll be using 2 sets of weights. I've got a heavy set, a 5-pound set, and then I've got a 2-pound set as my light set. And you could double up if you want more weight, for biceps or back. Okay, so let's get started with some foam rolling. Take your foam roller, and we'll begin with laying on top of the foam roller with our hips. So we want to get into the hip flexors, especially if you've been sitting today, then this is going to be really great to release all the tightness that is around the hip flexors. So I'm just going right up above the pubic bone and then down to the upper thighs to start. And if you do feel a lot of sensation, a lot of intensity, then you can go really slow. You could even pause and just kind of let that release. So it's not totally passive. There's a little more activeness too as well with your core, keeping your core slightly engaged, protecting your low back. And I always really like to do this also at the end of the night. It's always nice to kind of foam roll at the end of the day before bed. All right, and then we're going to start to go down. So just sticking onto the quads here. And if you want more intensity, you could bend the knees like me. And I've got my forearms parallel as I'm kind of rolling up and down the quads, rocking through the quads. I know she wants to bite the foam roller. There's nothing in there. This is Callie. She's a very happy Frenchie. Loves to play with her ball. Loves attention. All right, so we're getting from the hip flexors down to the quads, and then we're going to start to go to the lower quads. Let's move it down right above the knee, and this is where you can sway a little more side to side. Oh yeah, feeling a lot of stuff down there. It's so important to massage out tight areas before we start working out, because if we don't release the tightness, that area will just continue to get tighter and tighter, and will cause pain and all kinds of issues. So it's actually really important to release tight areas before going into exercises and full stretches. This is another reason why getting massages are so effective, releasing tightness in the body. Okay. And then going closer to the knee, as close as you can, right above the knee. And just feel free to hang out there for a little moment, just pausing, feeling the pressure of the massage. Okay, now we'll go to the side. So whichever side you want to start with, roll onto the side of the knee, right above the knee. And then the top leg can bend and support you. And then just start to go up and down through the side thigh here. And then we're going to go right up to the side of the hip. So I'm going to move the foam roller onto the medius here. So it's like kind of where your band is on your pants. You're going to feel that kind of dig in a little more. And then just rock and sway side to side. Getting into the medius is really great to release glutes. And I also want to roll towards the front of the pelvis so I can get more into the TFL, which is also a hip flexor and internal rotator. So from the side of the hip towards the front of the pelvis. And then we're going to move towards the maximus. So start to take it to the side and then to the back side of the pelvis. Now I'm kind of sitting up here and I'm using weight in my hand to help give me leverage. And again, you can sway, you can rock, do what feels good. Right in the center of the gluteus is the piriformis muscle, which tends to get pretty tight and can cause low back pain or sciatica. Want to release the piriformis just by going through, massaging the center of the glute. All right, and then I'm just going to take it to the other cheek. Just take it to the other side here. Stay on the middle of the glute, going up and down or swaying. Yeah. Callie really wants these tune-up balls. All right. And then also you can always stay a little bit for a while too on that side if it's feeling sore. All right, and then we'll go to the side of the hip. I'll just turn around here. So right on the side, medius. And then sway towards the front of the pelvis, getting into the TFL. All right. And then start to go down to the side of the thigh, down towards the knee area. So we're not going on the actual IT band, we're just going at the areas where it inserts. So at the top of the hip and above the knee is where we want to focus on releasing. Because you can't stretch a ligament. You can't really actually make the ligament work like a muscle. It's not meant to stretch. It's just meant to hold. So it's the muscles we have to release. So the medius, TFL, and then right here at the side of the quad, lateral edge of the quad here on the bottom. Great. So we got into our glutes, hip flexors, and now we're going to start to go down the shin. And we want to not be right on the center of it, but like the lateral side of it. So I've got my foot sort of internally rotated. And I'm just going to go along the, so here's the center line. It's this outer edge of the shin that we're trying to get to. This is the tibialis anterior. This can get pretty tight. Again, just feel what works in your body and how you want to hold yourself, making sure you can just feel that pressure. Great. And then we're just going to switch legs. Come to the outer edge of the other shin. It's almost like my leg's in a half pigeon with the knee bent. I'm definitely feeling some stuff in there. I think especially if you're a hiker, if you walk a lot, these muscles can get pretty tight. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm getting some twitching. That's good. Twitching is good. It means the muscles are releasing. All right, now we get to go to the calves. So we'll do both together. Bring both feet on top. Where'd your ball go? Where's the ball? All right, so let your weight go into your calves. Not those, okay. And then you're just going to roll up and down your calves, gastrocnemius. And you can also go a little side to side, which is really nice. If you want to put more weight into the calves, you can always bring those hips up, which means your arms are going to work a little more. I feel a lot of tightness here. I just was gone for 3 weeks doing some hikes and stuff in the national parks. National parks. Well, they're natural, but national parks. We had this really beautiful hike in Zion called Angel's Landing, and you climb up about 2,000 feet in elevation. And when you're at the very top, you're on the cliff. Literally, it's a cliff, and you have to use a metal chain to cross. So you're holding on to this chain to cross over the cliff. And it's beautiful up there, but it's definitely scary. But I just love like being able to do high elevation hikes and get some steep hikes in. It's really nice to feel the challenge. And then the reward is the view. All right, so now from the calves, we're going to go up to the hamstrings. So right above the knees. Again, lifting the hips will give you more weight into the massage. You just want to go nice and easy up and down. And then go up a little more to the very top of the hamstring and really put your weight on the foam roller. Just a little space here. What is this, your bone? It's got her bone. She's showing off all her toys today. So we're just massaging up the hamstrings. They have to see what I'm doing. Let's go. And then she wants to be on camera. She's like, she knows what's happening. And then we're going to go all the way up to the crease of the lower glutes and hamstrings. And we're just going to sit on this for a moment. Oh yeah, just let your weight sink down into the foam roller right where the lower glute crease connects to the hamstrings. And you can sway a little bit side to side. This is something I think is just so important to do, is to really get that stretch. In my experience, especially doing a lot of vinyasa yoga, and they kind of encourage you to go to your edge, and Hamstrings are probably the most common injury in the yoga world because you really have to release the tension first. There's so much tension in our hamstrings, especially when we're sitting, right? We're always shortening the hamstring, and they stay that way from lots of sitting. So it is probably the most susceptible to injury, and that is another reason why I advocate for foam rolling before exercises or stretches like in yoga, like forward folds and splits and all those hamstring stretches that they do. That's a good looking bone there. A sturdy one. She's a happy girl. She's like, I got my bone. I'm getting so much attention. Yeah. All right, so we got a good amount into our hip flexors and then our glutes and then the back of our legs here. All right, now we're going to go to the upper body. So we're going to start with the side of the ribs, the serratus anterior. So right underneath the side ribs here, under the shoulder socket, and that's where the roller is going to go. Okay, I'm going to lay right in here. And you want to actually kind of get into the shoulder socket, you know, like your armpit area, the shoulder pit area. I'm just going to hang out right here. We'll sway side to side. At least she's biting the bone and not the foam roller. So this is such a great release because, again, this area gets tight. It gets tight from our posture. How often are you reaching up to your side, right? We don't really do that. So this area gets very restricted. And then see if you can also roll towards the front. So you want to get more into your chest, your pecs, which are also tight. Very often, tightness in the chest will cause rounding of the shoulders, right? You'll see a lot of times shoulders kind of forward and rounded because the pecs are pulling them down. Are you going to cuddle with me? Okay. As long as they can see the roller, that's all that matters. All right, so towards the chest, see if you can kind of hang out there for a moment. I think of it as like where the front of the sleeve of your shirt kind of would be. That's sort of where I'm going. Directly to the side of where I was just massaging in the side ribs, I'm going to the front. And I can feel it's pretty tight. I can feel there's some soreness. And I say soreness because that's just restriction. That just means there's limitation there. My body isn't releasing. So I want to hang out and just pause here and really just apply that pressure. So it hopefully will release. And it doesn't happen right away. Just because, you know, we foam roll for 15 or 30 minutes doesn't mean it's all gone. Sometimes it's something that has to be done consistently in order to release. All right, so I've gotten a good amount of pressure there. And then start to move towards the back. So I want us to focus more on the upper back. And I'll take my hands to the back of my head and cradle my head as I go up and down, just from the shoulder blades up towards the neck. And I'm gonna put my hair up here so it's not gonna get caught under the foam roller. Oh yeah, and you wanna really actually get to the neck as well, because we have so much tightness around here, especially under the skull, the subocciput, the muscles that connect the cervical spine to the skull. Those areas get so tight. And then go down to the shoulder blades, and then up to the back of the neck. few more here. All right, now we can move to the other side of the ribs. So start with taking the roller underneath the shoulder socket, directly onto the side of the ribs. So these muscles here are called serratus anterior. They look like bananas. They look like, you know, a bunch of bananas sort of laying on top of each other. Oh, that's a wet bone. and then just going up and down. This is going to be so great at giving you more range of motion too. When we do our side stretches, you won't have that limitation as much. Just start to sway side to side. Are you feeling any soreness in this area? Yeah. Yep. It's a good one. And you really want to like dig in with your own shoulder socket, just pressing it down, really letting it, all of those muscles, there's a lot of muscles in here, external rotators, rotator cuff, teres minor, teres major, they're all right there. We want to massage that out. These are the muscles that you're using most of the time when you're reaching and pulling, picking things up. And then start to move towards the chest and hang out here, applying pressure down with your pec. Again, it's that front, you know, where the front of the sleeve is, right by the front of the shoulder and the chest. Let your weight sort of fall down like a surrender. And just breathe. Letting your thoughts fade into the distance. And just be in your body. Feel the energy of your body. The surrender of your chest. And the depth of your breath. All right, lovely. Now we can move on to our tune-up balls. So we're going to use them to go deeper into the neck, the suboccipital muscles. So I'm going to keep them in the case and just loosen the case a little bit so I can have some space between the tune-up balls here. So I'm really trying to create that spot where it's literally the base of your skull, right, is that width. So from here, taking them right to the suboccipital muscles at the base of the skull. There it is. Just really pressing up underneath the head. And then this is where you can just surrender. Again, just relaxing your head. Let the weight of your head be heavy. You can take your right hand to your heart and your left hand to your solar plexus. And then deepen the breath. Inhale through your nose, down into your solar plexus and your hips. And exhale, feel the breath leave, creating more space, more room for your muscles. Inhale, expand wide into your back body. Exhale, feel the core pull down from your hand. Inhale, expand your ribs, press the back ribs in towards the mat. Exhale, feel the body compress, coming closer to itself. Inhale, expand your lungs to hug your heart down into the solar plexus and then hips. Exhale from the hips through solar plexus, through your heart. And just really resonate with the feeling of your heart. Imagine that your heart had eyes and that you could see. What do you see with that heart? And it's more of a feeling. It's an energy. Just notice the energy. One more breath here, in through the nose and out through your nose. Really good. We'll try to take it down the neck to the base of where the neck and the shoulders meet, so the upper trapezius muscles. The upper trapezius, those are the spots that get those knots. So I'm just going to take it all the way underneath so that my whole body is on top of the balls. They're not, there's no air above them. It's just my muscles. And then I'm going to start to go down a little bit just to feel the pressure going deeper in between my shoulder blades. And just kind of pause there for a moment. If you're feeling a lot of soreness, that's good. That means you're releasing the tightness of the upper traps. The reason why we are typically tight in those areas is because it's like a survival coping skill that our body does because of our nervous system. And the way that we would survive in a fight or in nature, protecting ourselves, is that we would create a shield by lifting our shoulders and protecting our neck, which is, the most vulnerable. So it's something we do subconsciously. We don't know we're doing it unless you're really paying attention to your body throughout the day. And just noticing if you are holding tension there. For anyone who has trauma in their background, it's sometimes you're unable to release. It's something that's so built within your own body, the way it's coped with life, that you might need to do this every day. You might need to massage that area, take hot baths, use a heat warmer, something to release the tension, to tell your body you're safe. And just even having your hands here is such a great way to feel safe and protected in your own body. Know that you are safe where you are. You are on your mat. You are centering into your own body, which is a safe place. No matter what's happening in the outside world, it does not need to affect you. Stay here, stay in your body. This is safe. Make sure that your thoughts are safe, that they show you love, they show you confidence, that you are your own parent, that you protect yourself with your thoughts and how you treat yourself. And then we're going to start to move the tune-up balls down. So going down by sliding, I slide my body up. If your shirt is caught in the tune-up balls, you can move your shirt around. And I want to get them right between the shoulder blades. And that's a sweet spot. That's a great spot. Again, that's an area that tends to be tense. All right, now take the arms, if you're comfortable, take the arms up towards the ceiling. And you're going to start to bend the elbows and take them towards each other. We're going to start with bringing them together. And feel that you've created more space of the shoulder blades coming apart. And then you can do a little sway here side to side or up and down. Good. So keeping the elbows together. You can always also take your hands to your shoulders, crossing your arms. And then start to roll up and down. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, there's so much there. Going up and down between the shoulder blades, your middle and lower trapezius, upper trapezius, just going all the way through the traps. Do what your body needs. And then finishing with going all the way down to the tips of the shoulder blades. And then take the arms back overhead by your ears. Straighten through the arms. We're not completely relaxing. I'm still keeping my core engaged. My sacrum is on the ground. My low back is off the ground. And then I'm just going to sway a little bit side to side. Just letting the tune-up balls do their magic, work their magic. All those soreness, those areas are just parts of the body that want attention. They just want you to feel them, to stop distracting. Oh, she really wants the tuna balls now. Oh, you want a massage too, don't you, Callie? All right. Now take your arms, cross your arms, take your hands to your shoulders. And then we're just going to take a little upper ab crunch. Nod your nose down. Lift your shoulders a little bit. And now you've got more of that pressure into the balls as you sway side to side. Notice if you're using a lot of tension around your neck. See if you can focus on pulling down the ribs, finding a scoop from the mid-core as you sway side to side. That'll take out the tension from the neck and put the work in your abs where they belong. All right, nicely done. Go ahead and come on up. So that was our self-massage, tune-up ball, foam rolling portion of class. Now we will begin the yoga sculpt portion. So before we start the playlist, we're going to sit and come into our seat, our yoga pose, asana seat. And just start to notice what you feel in your body. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. And see if you can feel the weight of your sit bones underneath you. Let your weight stay down into the sit bones, where you're the most grounded and where your spine can be the most vertical. Now, we don't need to overcorrect the spine. We just need to observe. So start with the sit bones rooting down, being heavy. And then feel what's happening around your shoulders. See if you can relax your shoulder blades down your back. Now that we've woken up and we've created more awareness of these areas from the massage, you can definitely feel where those shoulder blades are. Take your head to the left, letting the ear drop down. Keep your shoulder blades down your back as you let your head be heavy. And then turn your chin towards your shoulder. Good, and then coming up to center, let's drop the ear the other way. Keep your shoulder blades down your back. And then start to turn your chin towards your shoulder. Keep the weight of your sit bones nice and even. And then inhale, come into center. Tune into your breath. This is a yoga practice, so the breath is the focus. Inhaling down, expanding your ribs like an open parachute, moving the energy down into your sit bones. And as you exhale, you feel that energy lift from your sit bones up through your heart. Inhale down and wide. Exhale, feel the energy lift you up. Continue to focus on your breath, slowing everything down. So important to take that time to be in your breath. I want to share a quote with you from the Dalai Lama. In dealing with those who are undergoing great suffering, if you feel burnout setting in, if you feel demoralized and exhausted, it is best for the sake of everyone to withdraw and restore yourself. The point is to have long-term perspective. I really love that quote because this is such an important time to restore, to self-care, to almost cocoon yourself in what you need. And that's why we need this practice. This is how we gain our power back. When we can feel right within, and we can feel right with the world. As so within, so without. All right. So now we are going to begin the playlist. So this playlist is called Queen, and it is very feminine, obviously with the name, right? So I made sure to put the playlist in the description for my YouTube videos now, so you can follow on your own external speaker. So let's start with the first song here called Spirit. All right, I love this song, it's beautiful. So starting with your seated position, Inhale, reach the arms up, interlace the fingers, and press your palms up towards the sky. Now see if you can straighten through the elbows and bring your shoulders up, but loosen around the upper traps, the base of your neck. Slightly nod your nose down, and then take a side bend. So we're getting more into our side body here. Remember, we massaged out the serratus, so we should have more range. Inhale to center. Exhale the other way. Keep your sit bones heavy. And instead of just leaning, think about lifting and then just creating more pressure towards the serratus, the side ribs. Inhale to center. We're going to start to circle. So rounding as you curl, and then opening and arching as you bring the hands back. So we're rounding like barrel rolls, moving in all planes. I like these a little more than cat-cows. One more circle this direction. And then switch other way. Remember, this is about your spine. So think about how much your spine is moving, going around, rounding, opening. We're creating space around all the vertebrae. Adding those arms is really energetic. One more circle. Beautiful. And then find center. Take the arms out to a T. And then take one thumb down, the other thumb going up. So we're rotating from the shoulders. And then switch your gaze towards the thumb that's up. Rotate from the shoulder, then extend out through the fingers. Move from the shoulders out through the fingers. This is called flossing the nerves all around the TL, the thoracic spine, where all the shoulder movement comes from. One more time. Beautiful. And then take your hands, clasp your hands behind your back. Sorry. And then press the hands down to the floor. So getting more into a stretch from your upper shoulders. Press your hands back now. Maybe you can touch your wrists together. Beautiful. One more breath here. Exhale through the mouth. H-A-A. All right, beautiful. We're going to go ahead and get started with some ab work. Bring your feet flat. They're about a fist distance apart. And then slowly start to lean back. Keep your torso straight as you lean back. You're feeling a lot of this work in the core, starting to lift up the area above your pubic bone, just pulling that in. Good. And then we're going to rotate one direction. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate the other direction. Keep your hips still. Nothing moves except your ribs. You're facing your heart, turning your heart with your hands. So it's not the hands that need to move, it's your heart. And the hands are just how you can gauge where to point. So we're moving, rotating, getting into our thoracic mobility. Good. One more time on each side. Good. Now we are going to curl the tailbone. So we start to roll back, coming onto the sacrum. That's it. So we're now on the sacrum and our low back. Our shoulder blades are off the ground. All right, from here, take the arms up and forward. We're just keeping the work in the arms, holding the C curve, really waking up our core. You can always choose to not use the arms if you like. 4 more. Down and up. Down and up. One more time. Take the hands forward and then bring your legs up to tabletop. Good. Stay there. We're going to reach the right hand forward, left hand forward, side to side. It's like a little side curve, little side bend. Reach, reach. Notice if you're using your neck, keep working your abs. Pull those ribs down. Little side to side. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let your head come down. Legs stay where they are. And we're just going to start with one leg at a time. Toe tap, toe tap. You don't have to tap the floor either. You can just hover and come back up. So I'm making sure I've got my sacrum rooting down. Got my arms pressing down. I'm activating the back of the arms, back of my head, back of the ribs. So the back ribs like to come up. So if that is happening, think about your front lower ribs pulling down more. Tap, 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 tap. So nothing else is moving. We're just keeping the body really strong. The whole core is active, stabilizing. Tap, tap, tap. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring both legs in. And then we're taking the legs to the side, onto one hip, hold and hover. Bring it to center. And then other way, just hover. It doesn't need to be super low to the ground. We're not needing to overdo anything here. This is so important to just get the form side. So we're getting rotation and we're getting internal obliques. Side and side. I've got no movement in my upper body. My shoulder blades are still pressing and rooting down. My arms are pressing down. The movement comes only from the hips, swaying onto one side, squeezing to come in. Good, just 4 more. 4, 3, 2, keep those front low ribs in, and 1. Beautiful. Straighten the legs up, see how that feels. All right, we're going to take one leg down. You can bend the knees if you prefer, and then switch. 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 Good. So nice and strong. I'm keeping those arms, shoulder blades rooting. I'm not pressing my low back down at all. I have a little gap under my low back. That's your neutral spine. You want to keep a neutral spine when you do these. Good. And what's nice too is you're getting a hamstring stretch when you bring the leg up. It's an active stretch. Good. For 4, for 3, for 2, hold on 1. So one leg is up. Take the opposite hand to the back of the head and find a little curl. Good. Think about bringing the shoulder towards the hip, not the elbow. We don't worry about that. We think about shoulder to hip. That's your core. Hold, pulse in, 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 in. Shoulder towards hip for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch your legs, switch your hand. Hold it there. Hover the bottom leg if you can. Shoulder towards hip. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Curl from that. It's almost like a sling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Take your knees into your chest. Nice little circles with the knees. And then switch. Circle the knees. All right, we're going to rock and roll up and down and see if we can land in chair pose. Maybe no hands. Ha-ha. All right, I'm going to take my shirt off here. It's getting warm after that core work. Whew. So we're going to start with our weights now, finally, yay. So go for your lighter weights here to start. And then bring your feet apart about fist distance apart. There's a little bit of space. Root down into the heels and lift your toes. Start with taking the arms forward and up. So arms parallel, narrow rows. Up. We're working through the back. That's it. Keeping the arms parallel is so important. So we're working on squeezing towards the center, towards the midline. 8 more. 8, 7, 6. Can you sit a little bit lower? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take a quick forward fold and then add on your heavy set of weights. So I'm doubling it up here. You don't have to. You could always just stick to the heavy weights. Okay, and then come back into your chair. So we're going to go into some squats. Push into the feet to come up, and then sit the hips back and down. Push the heels. Down, down, up, up. We're going slow to start so we can get the form. Notice that my knees don't pass my toes. That's how much I have to work. Push into those heels. Down, down, up, up. We're waking up in the legs, right? We're getting that deep hip flexion. Good, 2 more. Up, up, down, down, up, up, and then let's hold it down. Pulse it down. Pulse. You can put those inside the foam roller so you won't see them. Pulsing down, weight in the heels, toes are lifted. Make sure you've got even pressure in the balls and the heels. Pulse, pulse. Sit low for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. Weights come down. I always keep mine at the top of my mat so they're ready to go. From here, take your hands to the back of your head and just let your weight, the head of your head get heavy. Little circles with the head, releasing tension. I want you to think about keeping the back of your neck long today in class. Try to avoid looking up or shortening the neck. All right, take your hands down, step back into high plank. Now you can lower the knees for the push-ups here. Tricep push-ups, chaturanga push-ups. Then the elbows, and then press. Bend, press. Keep your body nice and long. Your core engaged, the area above the pubic bone pulling in. Bend, press, broaden the shoulders, keep the collarbone smiling. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the chest come down. Good. Untuck your feet. Press into the tops of your feet so the kneecaps lift. Press down through the pubic bone, lift your chest. Make sure you're not shortening the back of your neck. Nod your nose down. You want to think about the back of your head reaching up away from your sacrum. Shoulder blades pulling down. Good. Now lift the legs. Squeeze from the glutes, the lower glute creases. Squeeze from there to lift. One more breath. All right, tuck the feet. Exhale, press up and into downward dog. Pedal out the legs. Bend one knee at a time. Stretch down through the heel. Get into your calf stretch. All right, so we are going to start with our left side. Inhale the left leg back into your three-legged down dog. Keep your chest nice and even. Your leg is lifting, your hips are neutral. Now bend your knee here. Bring your knee towards your nose as you curl your body forward. So your shoulders are over your wrists. Exhale, step down between the hands. All right, going for the heavy weights. So coming up into a high lunge. And let's try shortening the stance a little bit more so we can bend the knees to 90 degrees. And then think about lengthening down the tailbone, pulling up from the pubic bone. Here we go, bicep curls. In and down, hands facing each other for hammer curl. Shoulder blades down the back. Keep the collarbone smiling. From the sternum out through the edges of your shoulders. Okay, let's add the legs. Ready? Up and down. Up, down. Up, down. You can almost hover the knee towards the floor. And remember, the back leg, you're using the crease of the lower glutes to really help you press. Good, just 8 more. Avoid swinging the arms. Keep everything really controlled. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keep your legs straight. Hinge from your hips. Pull the left hip back a little more. And then touch the edges of your weights together. Wide rows. Up, down. Good, you can stay here. If you want a little more, you can take the back leg up. So that's a warrior 3 version. Wide rows, 8 more. 8, 7, 6. Find your focus. Find your breath. For 3, 2, and 1. Use your weights to support you like blocks. Take the back leg up now into standing splits. Good, we're gonna go to Shiva squats. Bend the knees, cross the knees, and then up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down. 1 more. Beautiful, take the leg back. Take the knee down for a quick moment. Put those weights to the side. Good, and then take your hand to the front of your thigh. A little more lift of the pubic bone so we're not dumping. And then lift up through the spine. If you want more, you can bend the back knee, take your foot for a quad stretch. 1 more breath here. And release. We're taking our light weights next. Otherwise, if you want to keep those heavy weights, that's up to you. Going into warrior 2. So with warrior 2, we're going to bend the elbows in and out. In and out. Finding openness through the chest, smiling the collarbones. Just for 8, 7. Stay in your warrior, pressing through the back foot. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the heels in and the toes out. This is goddess pose. From here, take the hands overhead, bend the elbows. So we're going to tricep extension. Make sure the elbows are not wide, but they're close to the head. And then pressing up overhead. Exhale. Exhale. Let's add the legs too. Bring it up and down, up and down. Press into the outer edges of the feet. Think about your thighs pressing back. That's it. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. And then hold it down. Take your hands to your chest. Lift your heels. Find your balance. And we're going to rotate. Ready? To the side, center, side. Doesn't need to be a big rotation. You're rotating using your obliques, working thoracic mobility. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Heels down. Take the arms out for a moment. Shake it off. And then bring your hands to shoulders. Pivot forward. Put the weights down. Take a vinyasa. You can do full cobra or up dog, whichever you prefer. Use the creases of your lower glutes to help you get into a big extension. Meet me in downward dog. Inhale the right leg up. Hold it there. Keep the right hip pressing down to neutralize the hips. And then bending the knee. Bring the knee towards your nose. Curl the body forward into a C curve and step forward. All right, let's take our heavy weights now. Coming up, high lunge. Scoot the back foot in a little more so we can get 90-degree knees. And then the hands are going to go wide. So wide curls. In and down. Find that your low ribs are reaching in to the body, keeping your core nice and active. Pull the pubic bone up. And you'll feel that your left cheek is working too to help you. All right, let's add the legs. Bring it down and up. Down and up. Exhale on the up, on the exertion. Shoulder blades down the back. Smile the collarbones. Good. Keep the legs strong. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the legs straight and then hinge forward. You want to get a little hamstring work here. Wide rows, touch the weights and then bend the elbows wide. Touch and pull. Touch and pull. How's that core? And then option to take the back leg up to find warrior 3. This is for those advanced yogis. Find that the back of your neck is staying long. For 8, 7, hips even. Left hip comes down a little bit. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Use your weights like blocks for standing splits. Use the leg up, use your glute, and then we bend the knees and cross the knees for Shiva squat. Up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down. One more time. Up, up, and down. Good. Take the leg back. Take the knee down. And then your weights down as well. Hands to your thigh. Pull the pubic bone up. Feel the activeness through the core and hips. And then you have an option to bend the back knee for a quad stretch. Keep the chest facing forward. And breathe. One more breath here. All right, let's switch to light weights now. Coming up to warrior two. So from warrior two, we're taking the hands in front of the hips and then out like a V. So in your peripheral vision, hips, up, hips, and up. Body stays nice and strong in your warrior lunge. Every time the hands are coming up, we're using our supraspinatus, one of the rotator cuffs on the top. It's really important to have this muscle be strong so we don't have injuries. Down, up, down, up. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here. We're going to bring the heels in. That's it. And then rotate one thumb down. And then switch. And switch. And switch. Can you bring your heels up too? Nice. It's good to challenge the balance. Switch. Switch. Rotator cuffs. Internal, external rotators. For 4. For 3. Yes, you can. 2. 1 more. Beautiful work. Take the heels down, arms out like a star pose, shake it off. Exhale, turn forward, plant your weight. Optional vinyasa. Use the lower creases of the glutes to help you get that extension. Exhale, downward dog. All right. Pedal up the legs one more time. Notice the difference, how your legs are feeling now compared to how they started. One big inhale, big exhale. All right, come on down to a tabletop position. So now we get to have some fun. We're going to go more into the glutes. Take one heavy weight, or you don't have to use a weight at all. Take it behind the left knee. Squeeze that weight with your leg. So it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to fall. Now, if you wanted to, you could also make fists with your hands to support your wrists if you are feeling any soreness there. Okay, arms are nice and strong. Let's start by just going out to the side. Fire hydrant, down and up. Fire hydrant. Good. Keep the hips neutral. Avoid swaying the hips. Lift, lift, lift. Core is strong. Tall spine, long spine. Press. Put a little more weight into the left hand to counterbalance. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the leg back and down. Back. Back. Good. Glute curls. If you want to get funky with it, right hand can hover off the low back. By hovering, you're using the back of the shoulder. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Take a moment before going to the other side for child's pose. So we work the left side. That means we're going to move our hand to the right. Left hand on top. Getting more of a stretch there. Left sit bone reaches back and down. All right, let's go to the other side. Weight behind the right knee. Squeeze that weight, don't let it go anywhere. Again, you have the option to make fists with your hands. You're gonna go fire hydrant. Up, down, up, down, up. Weight in the right hand a little more for counterbalance. Find your core by pulling the low ribs up, pulling up this area above your pubic bone, holding that strong. Avoid swaying the hips or tilting. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We take the knee back. Glute curl, press, press. Pull shoulder blades down the back. Collarbones are smiling. If you want extra, left hand hovers, pressing the back of the arm up. Lift, lift, lift. Good, you got this. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Put that weight down. Find your child's pose. Walk your hands to the left with the right hand on top. See if you can square your chest, your heart down. And actively press your hands into the floor. All right, beautiful. We're going to make our way onto our backs. How are we doing on time? Okay. Yeah, so we're going to come to our backs and then take your heavy weights along with you. Taking the arms out wide for chest press. So shoulder blades down on the mat and exhale. Press, press. So chest press. Notice that you want those low ribs down. They like to flare. Back of your head is reaching away from the sacrum. Sacrum heavy. Back of the ribs down. Back of the head down. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you take the hands parallel, bend the elbows so the hands frame your head, and then press. Straighten the arms and bend. Straighten and bend. Triceps. Relax your eyes. Relax your jaw. You can always go one arm at a time. Make sure you're keeping your core stable. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're taking the weights to the tops of the hips. This is optional. You don't have to add the weights here. And then we'll start by pressing into the heels to lift the hips up. Hold it here, and then just your right hip press. Press, right hip popping, up, up. Working through the glute. Press, press. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, switch hips, left hip, press, press, press. Good, you're getting a nice little rotation in those hips. Press, press, press. You got it. 8, 7, 6. Try to avoid moving the knees. 4, 3, 2, switch it. Right and left. Right and left. Keep the knees stable. We're using just glutes, internal obliques. That's it. Side and side. Side and side. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take it all the way down. Move your weights off to the side. And then we press the arms down. Shoulder blades stay down. Curl up the spine. Keep your shoulder blades down. And then sink the sternum down too. Create a little curl. Now we start with marching. One leg up, down, other leg up, down. March, 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 march. Now notice when you bring one leg up, that bottom leg needs to stabilize. No, keep the hips at the same place. Focusing on your body, your breath. It's so important. This is the practice. This is the discipline. How mindful can you be in your body? Your body's beautiful. It's strong. Feel it. We got 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Back of the head, nice and long, right? Last 2. Last 1. We move the hips only. Down and up. Down and up. Keep the knees the same. Keep them in the center. Feel the glutes work as you press. Lengthen through all the way to the knees. Think about your heels reaching towards your sitting bones. Good. Feeling a lot of that work in the lower glute creases, right? That's where we want to feel it. Lower glute creases, reaching the sit bones forward towards the knees. Knees reaching forward. With the heels, almost imagine dragging towards your sitting bones. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep those knees even. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take it all the way down. Curl. Yeah. Now we finish with our ab work. Again, start with the hands behind the head, back of the neck actually, and then slide the hands up against the base of your skull. Nod your nose down, sink your sternum down so you're creating this nice curl in the upper spine. And then from here, we're taking both legs up. Good. Take legs straight if you can, or bend the knees. And then we're going to take the legs apart. So go out and in, out and in. Now the head coming up is optional. If you prefer to keep it down, that's fine. Remember, you can do this with knees bent. Working the outer hips. Sink the sternum, nod the nose. Back of the head reaching away from sacrum. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're taking the legs to circles. Bring it out and together and in. Out and down, together and in, out and down, together and in. One more this way. And then we switch, going down the center and then out. Together and down and out. Down, down, out, out. Down, down, out, out. Good, 4 more. So nice moving from the hip joints. One more time. Let's hold it in the center. And we rotate the legs in and out. Rotate, rotate. Internal, external. This is a nice way to lubricate and really get in those deeper muscles around the hips. Rotate, 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 rotate. Last 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take the knees in, let the head rest. Beautiful work. We're gonna do one more and we're done. So all of that was really great at warming up for this next one, which is gonna be full bicycles. Take your legs straight up, hands behind the neck if you like. And then we're just gonna take one leg down and then add a little curl. Remember, it's shoulder towards hip. Don't worry about the elbow. Switch, 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 switch. Shoulder towards hip, shoulder towards hip, shoulder towards hip. Curl, create more space through the front body as you curl. Pull those low ribs down. Not using the hands to pull, we're just supporting the weight of the head. You can absolutely do this with knees bent. Hips are not swaying. Last one. Beautiful work. Take it in. Ha. Circle out the legs. Switch direction, circle the other way. All right, we get to do our happy baby now. As you give your feet a little pull. Long inhale. Slow exhale. All right, taking the left leg, left foot across the knee. So figure 4, thread the left hand through the opening. And then give that leg a pull, gentle pull. Keep the hips, the sacrum down. We don't want to curl the sacrum. See if you can actually press the tailbone down. And then take your legs to the right. Keep the same figure 4 position. And then I'm going to use my right hand to hold my ankle. Keep your chest down, your shoulders flat. This is a piriformis stretch. Beautiful. Now take the legs together. Keep your twist. If you want more, you could straighten the legs. Turn your gaze to the left. All right, we're going to bend the knees, come into center. Take your right foot on top of your left knee. Right hand through the opening. And then notice what's happening in the hips. We want to press down through the tailbone. And then you'll feel more of a stretch. One deep inhale, slow exhale. And then take your legs to the left. Keep your shoulders flat on the ground. This is your piriformis stretch here. Option to take the left hand to the ankle. And then take your legs on top of each other. And holding your twist, option to straighten the legs. And then turn your gaze to the right. Breathe deep into your hips, down through your legs. Exhale, H-A-A. All right. Take it to center here. You can choose to do any one more pose you'd like to do. Some people want to do a little, butterfly. That might be nice here. You could do shoulder stand if that's in your practice. If you do shoulder stand, just finish with a little fish pose. Just feel your body. Notice how different it feels now, where you feel more open, where you feel stronger, where you feel like you've released tension. One more breath wherever you are. And then everybody bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Thank yourself for showing up on your mat today. And then this is where you can turn the music down or off, or you could change it to some meditation music if you like. And just settle down for your meditation. So everyone's meditation practice is different. You can stay in mummy pose and just relax your whole body into the floor. You could be seated. You could have the wall behind your back. And if you have anything that is coming up for you emotionally, physically, just observe it. Be in your feelings, be in your emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. We are made of energy. And when you can tune into that deeper knowledge, that deeper wisdom, that energy is sharing with you, then you start to see things differently. You start to understand things on a deeper level about yourself and thus the world. So find that compassion, find that love deep within you for yourself and even for your inner child. Being the parent for yourself can be the most healing practice, daily practice. When you need to rest, you rest. When you need to move, you move. You just listen to the energy in your body. There is no one way fits all. Everyone is unique. Everyone is individual. And we can embrace each other for our own individuality. That's what makes us so beautiful and human. There is no such thing as perfect. There is only you and your uniqueness. So an affirmation to say to yourself, you can say this out loud. I am perfect. Take away whatever connotation you might have with that word and just see how it makes you feel when you say that. I am perfect. I am perfect. And just be in that feeling, be in that embrace, embody this affirmation. Another affirmation I want to share is, I am divine. Just like divine spirit, divine order, you are meant to be here. I am divine. Breathe that in. I am divine. And then one more affirmation to truly fill up with the fullness of your potential, your possibilities, all the things you are meant to do here. I am love. What does love feel like? Feel it from your heart. I am love. Notice if there's resistance in the heart, and just observe and note that to yourself, but don't judge it. Don't change it. Just observe. Just come with this affirmation one more time. I am love. Just feel the waves of the energy flow through you, within you, and around you. See if you can let the mind fade into the distance and just focus on your heart. The energy, the sensations, the pulse. Inhale, expand your lungs, hugging your heart hugging your lungs. Exhale, H, A. This type of exhale is a way to open the heart chakra, to release any emotional blocks. One more time, inhale, expand and expand your heart hugging. Exhale, H, A. And then one more time, biggest inhale of your day. Imagine the heart might explode. You're inhaling so much. And let it go. Start to tune back into your body. Feel your skin, the temperature of the air. Feel the sensation around you. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Feel the weight of your body. And inhale, take the arms back overhead, full body stretch. Exhale, roll onto your left side. Use your arm like a pillow as you gently press up to seated. Just like we began, coming into your seat See if you can feel the weight of your sit bones underneath you. See if that maybe they're heavier. Maybe you've been able to release more in the hips. Feel the weight of your spine. See if you can sway the spine back a little more, just to feel it nice and tall. Feel your chest is proud, your collarbones smiling, your heart shining. And I'd like to end with the same quote that we began by the Dalai Lama. In dealing with those who are undergoing great suffering, if you feel burnout setting in, if you feel demoralized and exhausted, it is best, for the sake of everyone, to withdraw and restore yourself. Thank yourself for taking this time to restore, to self-care, and to self-soothe. Take your hands to your heart, honoring the divine within your heart. Take your thumbs to your mouth, honoring the divine with your words. Take your thumbs to your third eye, honoring the divine with your thoughts. Thank you so much for practicing with me. The student and teacher in me bows to the student and teacher in you. Namaste. Yay! Thank you so much, Bree. Haha, 90 minutes, yes! We did it, 90 minutes. Well,